Yeah, for me, being here from the outset of when the whole thing started in 2006, when we had the privilege of rehabilitating the boiler, this has actually culminated in us seeing the light at the end of the tunnel of what we started then. We're happy that ultimately the turbine which we repaired the boiler is now going to work and is working to help Nigeria light up industrialization, development, growth and prosperity.
Well, this is a wonderful time for power sector in Nigeria. But even beyond that, it is on notice that the sixth plant that we are here to recommission and to put back to work has been moribund for the past 9 years or more.
Well, today is a day everybody who had worked at this EGBIN in the last 10-20 years had looked forward to. We lost ST6 about 8 years ago, and ever since then, everybody who had been in charge in power in Nigeria had put in their best to bring the ST6 back.
Well, we're happy about Unit 6. I mean, what it actually does for us for the first time, EGBIN is going to dedicate 220 megawatts straight to Lagos Metropolis. Now with this energy, we're going to see a big difference in Lagos. We're also going to see a big difference in the enabling environment around EGBIN, the communities.
Our customer will not be reassured of getting additional supply to their houses.
What this is also going to do is that it's going to free us from the headache of at least what you call a business plan for the next phase, which is the unit 7 to 12. Which we plan and which is our major focus.
The gas is going to meet up, and sooner or later, this thing we have been shouting about, talking about over the days, years, months, will bear fruit.
So we employ our customers not only to welcome the new increase in power, but at the same time to pay for the power they are consuming.
Lagos is a commercial city of the country, and if you inject more power, it increases the power, the cycle of the power system in the country, and helps industries to pick up quite a lot. So it's a very big milestone.
Especially we are starting this particular scheme from Lagos, where we're going to supply a bunch of this power we're generating from Unit 6 to ECO and GEJ distribution zones. And there will be power to run our industries.
Maximum demand is 1,250 megawatts. What we are getting from the grid now is about less than 400 megawatts on the average. So for this additional 200 megawatts to come into the grid, it shows that we are going to get additional power from the grid.
You cannot really attribute exactly how much it has cost. Suffice it to say that since after we took over in November 1 on 2013, we have spent an aggregate 50 billion in this plant. And that is inclusive of what we have done on Unit 6 and also Unit 4. Mark you, Unit 4 has undergone the enigmatic overhaul and retooling, which past people in this plant had tried to do, and it became impossible.
This is one of the dividends of privatization, which is very key. The private people, they spend their money, to bring up this unit, and it's a commendable effort.
Apparently, we see that it tells us that this can work. There was a lot of skepticism about this exercise when it started, but now it shows that it can work, and it can work well. And it's somebody can applaud our private sector. They've done very well.
What we have done today is something that, to many, is impossible.
For 30 years or so, this plant has not been run as efficiently as it should, but with the new addition and the overhauling that is currently going on.
For us to be able to achieve this, it shows that in terms of commitment, in terms of delivering on purpose, in terms of having the capacity and the personnel to do it, and the political will.
The efficiency level of EGBIN is going to increase, availability will be higher, and that ultimately translates to reliable electricity supply to the Nigerian people.
Actually, many other power plants are planning on expansion. For instance, we have a situation where the Ughelli power plant was at about 200 megawatts when they took over on the 1st of November 2013. They have now doubled that to over 400 megawatts. So this is all fruit of privatization exercise.
As you know, the board has already commissioned some frontline study to see how we can expand, double the capacity in that 2-3 years. And that study is ongoing. So we believe that it's going to boost in a double measure the capacity of this plant.
We don't necessarily want to be the biggest power plant. We want to be the biggest and most efficient, because we want to ensure that at every point in time we have 90 to 100% capacity, plus even more where we can.
There are agreements that have already been signed by West African countries, and what is now holding the realization and fulfillment is actually funding and resources to do so. Yes, we want to be able in Nigeria to produce enough power, not only for our compatriots in Nigeria, but for the rest of West Africa.
When we took over EGBIN, the first thing we said was that we're going to double this plant. First of all, to double the plant, you first capture what exists, you make it economical, you make it commercial, and then once it is stable and you have the technical aspect covered, then thereafter, you can then expand. So Unit 6, as well as all the other rehabilitations we're doing, would allow us the enabling financial environment to expand and provide what Nigerians, Lagosians, people in Ikorodu have been desperate for.
So we salute the courage of the board of EGBIN Power Plant. We salute the courage of Mr. President, who went on with the privatization exercise even when everybody else thought it was not going to work.
To the continent, light is coming.
Without you, there's no us.
Kudos to EGBIN Power Plant.
After this ceremony, I will organize a special reception for my staff. They are steadfast people, they are well-trained people, they are people who know, the onions of their job. They are a wonderful set, and they are the real ones who made this day possible.
is the arrival of His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, on this historic visit to EGBIN Power PLC. Mr. President, we love you. You are most welcome.
You can pick him up there. Just I love this one. I love this one. I love this one.
Seated. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, the Chairman of the largest, the biggest, and the most powerful political party in Africa, the PDP, Dr. Adamu Muazu, the game changer, the Honorable Minister of Power, Professor Chinedu Ositadinma Nebo, the Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism, High Chief Edem Duke, the Honorable Minister of State for Power, Alhaji Mohammed Wakil, the former Minister of State for Defense, Distinguished Senator Musiliu Obanikuro, the Chief of Staff to the President, General Arogofa, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Power, Ambassador Dr. God knows Bolade Igali, the Chairman, Board of Directors, EGBIN Power PLC, Mr. Kola Adeshino, the CEO, EGBIN Power PLC, Engineer Mike Uzigwe, the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Dr. Benjamin Ezra Diki, the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, Mr. Joseph Kennedy, a host of all other very distinguished Nigerians who have accompanied Mr. President to this historic occasion. I want to formally welcome you to EGBIN Power PLC. Not leaving out our indefatigable host communities, represented here by the traditional institution. I can see the staff of office of His Royal Majesty Ikuba Bayeye Alasha Ikeji Orisha, the Eleko of Eko, Oba Rilwan Akiolu, the Oba of Lagos, ably represented, the Obateru of EGBIN Royal Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulakim Adeoriyomi Oyebo, the Regent of EGBIN Kingdom, High Chief Aliu Kayode Musedik, as well as the Baale of Ipakon community, Chief Mustapha Lasisi. You are all indeed welcome to EGBIN Power PLC. A resounding applause for yourselves, please.
Let me also, through this medium, honor all the local communities, and I appreciate the traditional leaders that are here with us to partner with these plant operators in our PLC to ensure that the environment is secured and safe. Of course, we've listened to the chairman, and we are quite pleased with the number of jobs created. I believe the surrounding environment also must have benefited from this massive employment. I particularly commend our traditional rulers in this respect and our community leaders and urge them to continue in that good spirit. Indeed, it is in the interest of our nation and our people that we make the fundamental adjustments and lay the right foundations towards improving services, opportunities, and ultimately providing a higher standard of life and living for our citizens, now and in the future. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt that on this, my administration has kept faith with our people. We promise to work with the private sector. We promise to work with all Nigerians to ensure that we have stable source of light, power, and of course, we are in the right direction. So ladies and gentlemen, I commend EGBIN Power PLC board, management, and staff. I proceed to formally commission the 220 megawatt was officially unveiled by me to commemorate the recommissioning of rehabilitated unit ST06 at EGBIN Power PLC on the 21st of February 2015. We've done this, glory of God.
Counting from 0 to 3. From 3 to 0, sir. 3, 2, 1, 0. Mr. President, this is the most modern control room in this whole country. I can say that because I've been here for 30 years. This is the most modern now control room in the power sector. We are going to Unit 4. You can see this is the control board of Unit 6, which is 70 technology, but this plan was done in the 80s, 82 to 84. Now, all these controls, when they get back, I don't know that in the 100. Nigerians, we are doing extra mathematics to do the control cards. But now we have been doing Unit 4. That's what we want to replicate. So when we go back to the 4, don't go to 100 people. You're welcome, sir. This is the old control board, this is the new control board. And totally clean, look at it being inserted back into the engine. Even our store has been modernized. This is what we used to have before. continuous collaboration with our people. Thank you very much. We have to try.
Mr. President, can only be a visitor once at our PLC, and that is just today. After that, you are a member of this family.
Look camera, shake. Very good. Very good. Yes, wonderful. Come on now.